Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. This video is a continuance of my BEADventurous series, and for this video I'm going to show you guys how to make this gorgeous bracelet using materials from the Potomac Beads Best Bead Box XL. This is a monthly bead subscription that I get from them. I will put a link for the subscription down there in the description bar. Now here's the thing, every time I go and get that link for you guys and I put it down there, the box is sold out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the link for the box down there, but I'm also going to have a list of materials for every bead that I'm using here in this box. I'm actually using 11 items from the box, which is a lot, so I'm really proud of myself that I was able to use that many things, and I love the color combination. It is gorgeous. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this video. It's going to be a lot of fun, and like I said, you will find links to all the materials you will need to make this bracelet down there below in the description bar. Let's get started. Here's a list of materials you will need to make a bracelet. You will need to cut 7 feet of 8-pound fireline. You will also need a size 10 beading needle, 10 RoundTrio beads, 8 Rounduo beads, 20 Ginko beads, 30 Mobyduo beads, 16 Vexolo beads, 16 6mm Czech fire polish beads, 9 Tubelet beads, 34 4mm Czech fire polish beads, 8 seed beads, 15 seed beads, and you're also going to need a button of your choice. I'm using a shank button, but you can also use a cut button or whatever you want really. And this is the list of materials. And remember, I will have links to all of these beads down there in the description bar below the video. Let's get started. To start this bracelet, you first want to pick up a RoundTrio bead. Now, I am using 7 feet of fireline, and 6 feet is enough to make this, but because this bracelet is so wide, it's like over an inch wide, and because it's so chunky and heavy, I realized I should do an extra foot of thread so I can reinforce this and make it strong, because it's a heavy bracelet. So, sliding the bead down here, I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go through a side hole in the bead. So I went through the middle, now I'm going through the side and pulling my tail through. And I'm going to leave a foot, just 1 foot extra tail. This here will help me reinforce my button closure. Wow, look at that. Right on 12 inches. This is going to help me reinforce my button closure and also the sides of the bracelet, because like I said, we gotta make it strong. I'm always worried that something would fall apart, and I never want that to happen, so I like to make my pieces really durable. Okay, so over and under twice there. It's a surgeon's knot I'm tying, bringing that knot down, just like that. Now we're done with the ruler, and what I'm going to do is take my needle, and I'm going to go back through the center hole here of my RoundTrio bead, pass my needle through, and we're going to start by picking up all the beads that go into the center of the bracelet. And I'm probably going to fast forward to this because there's going to be a lot of sections like this where it's repetitive. I'm going to be repeating the same thing over. So I put my beads on here so it's quicker for me to pick them up, so I'm not going back and forth on my tray there. And I have a 15 seed bead, an 8 a tubelet, an 8 a 15 Going back to the RoundTrio, you want to pass through the center hole again because we're working in the middle of the bracelet. Slide them down, pick up another 15, an 8, a tubelet, an 8, a 15, back through another RoundTrio through the middle. Okay, again a 15, an 8, a tubelet, an 8, a 15, and a RoundTrio. Okay, so I'm going to keep going doing this until I have, I think it's 9 RoundTrios. Let's see, I have 4 here, and then actually it's 10. It's 10 RoundTrios. It's 9 tubelets that I have. That's what I was thinking of. So I'm going to do this until I have my piece long enough, and I will be back to show you what to do next. Okay, I am back, and as you can see, this was the pattern that I did, and I went back and made sure that I only passed my thread through that center hole there. Very important. Only go through the middle hole in the RoundTrio beads. There's 3 holes in there. You just want to go through the middle one. Next thing I'm going to do is take the needle, and I'm going to pass through the side hole in the RoundTrio bead. Does not matter which side hole, just one of the side holes. Okay, and then I have to pull it tight because it's going to be loose on me. And I'm going to pick up two 15-0 seed beads. I'm going to pick up my Ginko beads, a strange name. And then I'm going to pick up a 4mm Czech fire polish bead. These here are my favorite out of all the beads in the box. I love those. And then a Ginko, and then two 15-0s. Okay, just like this. That's what I'm picking up. Slide them down, and then skip over these beads here and go through the next RoundTrio bead. And you want to hold the one that you're passing through and take your other hand and pull the needle. So go just like this. Okay. If you pull this, it gets loose, so I always hold the one that I just went through and pull it tight. Now I'm going to pick up my next beads, which is actually going to be 4 15s. In order to get this bead here to work, I have to pick up 4 of these, okay? And then this bead, and I'm on this side of the bracelet, so I have to make sure I pick them up correctly because there is a front and a back. The front is pyramided-like, it's pointed, and then the back is flat. So I need them to be like this, and I'm going to have an 8-0 here in between them. So I'm going to pass through them like this, and then I'm going to do 4 15s again, 2, 3, and 4, just like that. Slide them down and go through the next RoundTrio. And again, you want to hold with your right hand that RoundTrio and pass through with your left hand. Now these are going to be flipping all around until we come back down here and we pass through them. See how they like to stand up? But yeah, you just have to pay attention that they're, when you pick them up, that you're picking them up in the same direction that the ones you already picked up are laying. So I'm going to pick up, I'm supposed to be picking up two 15s, okay, another Ginko, another 4, another Ginko, going in this direction, like this, okay, and 2 more 15s, like that. Slide them down. Did I break a bead? No? Felt a snap. And then I'm going to go through the next RoundTrio. Again, you want to hold it like this and pull your tail through. Okay. And then I'm going to pick this area up again. So that starts with 4 11-0s, not 2. The Ginko starts with 2, not 11-0s, 15-0s. Good grief, I'm always using 11s. I rarely use 15s. So I'll just show you real quick what this looks like laying flat. Okay, so picking up 4 of these. I'm then going to pick up this bead. I need 2 of them, and I like to lay them down like this on the side that I have to pick them up so I know that I'm picking them up correctly. And then pick up an 8, another one of those, Vexolo. These are Vexolas. And then 4 15s. Okay, like that. Slide all of these down, and then go through the next RoundTrio. Hold this bead and pull the tail through. Okay, and I will flip these just so you could see what they look like. Pull that tight. Now it's curving right now, but that's okay because it will straighten out for us. Okay, so this is what I have. I'm going to keep going, repeating this all the way down here, and then I'm going to show you how to add half of the clasp on, and then we're going to go back down this side. So I'm going to fast forward through this. Alright, so I made it all the way down here. I passed through the side hole, And now what I'm going to do is pick up my button, and I think for the button I have, let me look at my picture. Yeah, I did 5 8/0s, and then because the loop is so big on this button, I did 2 15s. I put my button on, and then my button actually sits on those. See that there? Okay. Then slide that down, and then pick up 5 8/0s again. Now it might be different for you if you're using a different button. I will try to find the same exact button that I'm using though on the site and post it down in the description bar. But what I like to do whenever I make a button closure is I put the beads on one side, and then I go like this, and I try to get it so that when my button lays flat, the button's only touching the seed beads and not this part here, the bracelet, the larger beads. So that's what I've always done. That's just my design thing that I've always done, okay? So this is what I have. Alright, I have to take my needle and I'm going to pass through the opposite hole here, my RoundTrio. My knot's actually blocking me a little, so I'm just going to pull that tail. It's going to pop the knot out for me and then pass through that bead right there. Now I'm not going to reinforce this right now. This is why I left a foot of tail at this end, and then I'm going to leave it at the other end. It's because we're going to be able to use that tail to reinforce the closure and the sides of the bracelet. Alright? So right now, this is what I have. I gotta flip my beads. Let's see, is this? Yeah, that's top. Okay, I'm gonna be working in this direction now because I am right-handed. So I try to leave my bracelet laying down throughout the making of this. It makes it easier for me. It's also easier for you guys to see. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mirror what I've already done here. So I'm going to be repeating the same thing on this side, just like I did here on this side. So back to 2 15/0s, a Ginko bead, my 4mm Ginko, 2 15s, through the RoundTrio I go. But this time I have to go through the side that I've not gone through yet, the empty hole side. There, okay? So, go like this. Pull this tight. Make sure that your button's sitting right. Yeah, so see when my button down here, see how I have this closed and my button is only touching the seed beads and not that? RoundTrio, that's how I like it. I've always liked doing my buttons like that, whether I'm doing macrame or beading like this. Okay, now I'm at this part, I have to do 4 seed beads, 4 15s. My Vexolo, it has to go up in this direction, so I have to pass through this side, and then use an 8/0, and then use this bead here again, and then 4 15s, and I'm going to be repeating this throughout the rest of the bracelet all the way to the end, and I'll show you what to do next. I'm back and I checked my work, made sure that I have the right amount of 15/0 seed beads in all the areas I'm supposed to, and everything looks good, and now I'm ready to move on to the rest of my button closure. And for this button, okay, if you're using the same button that I have, I found that I need 21 8/0 seed beads, and these are Miyuki seed beads I'm using. If you're using a different name of seed beads, Tohos, you might need less because Tohos are bigger than Miyukis. At least that's what I've experienced, and I get different results when I use those beads. I always find different brands are not equal and I get different results. Some things I make, I can use different brands and it'll work fine, but there's some things that I make that have to be an exact kind of bead in order for the project to work out. So I'm picking up my 21 beads, and again, if you're using a different button, you will have to do a different amount. If you're doing a different kind of name brand of 8OC beads, you will probably have to pick up a different amount. I'm gonna go through my RoundTrio bead. Okay, I'm gonna go through the opposite hole here and hold this bead here in place while I pass through. Now I have to get over here or over here. Okay, I have to go through one of these areas to start my next row, and in order to do that, I'm gonna have to go back through all of those seed beads I just added. So I'm gonna go back through the RoundTrio, skipping over the middle hole, going up through the other side. I'm going to pass through as many 8/0s as I can in one shot, like this, okay? Now before I do, I am going to pull my other tail tight so that my work on this side is tight, and then pull my tail through here, okay? Pull this tight, and I'm going to go through all of these seed beads. Again, pull it tight. I'm going to go through these two here. Alright. My cat's sneezing, you know. I think I'm allergic to my cat because I'm always having like really bad allergies. But I think he's allergic to me. So, I'm giving it back to him. Alright, I went through all of those, and now I have to attach this to this side here so I can do my, it's not my second row, it's my third row of beads, isn't it? Yeah, I do count this as my first row. So to do the next row, I'm going to pick up one 15/0 seed bead, a 4mm, and a 15/0. Just like that. I'm going to go through this Ginko bead, and I'm working in the wrong direction because I'm right-handed. I like to go to the left, so I'm going to flip this. Okay, and now I'm going to go to my Mobyduo beads. These beads are so weird, and I have to make sure that I pick them up right. So let's see. I'm working on this side. They should lay like this. So one side of the bead is flat and the other side is domed, as you can see, and they're super narrow. They're so strange. Alright, so I'm going to go through this Ginko bead now. Don't get tangled up. Slip knot was tied. Okay. Pull that tight. The next thing is my 6mm Czech fire polish beads, which I forgot to get out of my tray. These. When I first designed this bracelet, I had these on the outside, but I didn't like it because I felt like it was so heavy that it was pretty, but I felt like they should have been on the inside, so I did a little changing here and there to make them go on the inside of the bracelet. Okay, so I'm going to pick up one of these, and I'm going to go through this Vexolo bead. Pull this through. Okay. This bracelet's going to fit together like a puzzle. It is so neat. And now I have my Rounduo, and that's going to go in between my Vexolo beads. I've done a bunch of bracelets like this with the Potomac bead box. If you go to my YouTube channel and you go to playlists, go to bracelets, you'll see all the bracelets that I've been doing with 2-hole beads. I think all of the bracelets that I've been doing with 2-hole beads have been from the Potomac box. Okay. After this, I'm going to do the 6 again. That bead's two-tone. Isn't that pretty? And all the colors in this month's box are beautiful. Now I have got comments of you guys saying that you have gotten different color mixes in your box. And I thought everybody was getting the same thing, but I guess everyone's getting a mix of colors. Alright, so that's what I have so far. Back to the Mobyduos. Making sure that I pick them up right. Okay, through the Ginko bead here. Pull it tight, make sure all the beads are flat. You don't want any loose areas. If it's loose back there, when you get over here, you can't really tighten it up. You have to go like this and pull the beads in that direction to get it to tighten up. And then I'm going back to my 6mm through the Vexolo, and then I'm going to do my Rounduo. Okay, and I'm just going to keep going along, and I'm going to fast forward through this. Alright, I am back. That side here went fast because the beads were so big I didn't have to do any seed beads. I'm making sure this is tight. See how it's not curling? That's good. We don't want any curling. If it curled that way, it means that I don't have enough beads, or that the beads are too small. And if it curled this way after we did this, it means that the beads are too big and I need smaller beads. So it's perfect, it's straight. That means we're ready to move on. So just like down here where I started, I have to do the same thing here. I'm going to pick up 115, 14, 115, slide those down, go through the button loop again, so I'm gonna go through all of those. Okay, I have to go through the 2 15s that I picked up to fill that buttonhole through there. Alright, pull that tight, and then I'm gonna go down through these 4, because I already went through the top one, these 4 seed beads. Pull that tight. Cat hair everywhere. I vacuum every day, and no matter how much I clean, there's always hair everywhere. Okay, now I'm doing this side right here. And again, I'm so right-handed, I have to turn this around. Now we're going to do this side. We're going to do the same exact thing, and of course I will be fast-forwarding through it, but look at how much this bracelet is growing. It's getting so big. Alright, we're back at this end, and again I have to do the corner, just like I did all the other corners. So pick up 115, a 4mm, 115, go up through all of the 80 seed beads here on the side, as many as you can in one shot. Okay, pull that tight. Going through all of them. If you want, you can test to make sure a button goes through there. I should have told you that earlier. I know that mine's going to work, that's why I didn't test mine. Okay, now I'm going to go through this side here. We're stepping up. We're going to the last row, which is going to have a lot of seed beads. So through 15, the 4, and the 15. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up 115 and 14. This is starting my next row, and I have to get my stuff reorganized, and I will be back. I'm currently Xing out of the Mobyduo bead right here, and I'm going to pick up an 8/0 seed bead, and I'm going to go through the next Mobyduo. Okay, it's going to look like that, and then I'm going to pick up another 8 and through the next one. And then, coming directly out of that bead, I'm going to pick up a 4mm bead, 2 8/0s, and 2 15s. I keep wanting to call these 11/0s. And then, I'm going to skip over these 3 beads here, and I'm going to go through the round trio. And then coming out of the round trio, I'm going to reverse what I just did, and I'm going to do 2 15s, 2 8s, I should pick up thinner ones, and then a 4, and then quit hopping around, and then through the next Mobyduo. And I'm going to do this on both sides of the bracelet, just like this. I'll do it one more time with you guys. Pick up an 8/0 seed bead through a Mobyduo. These beads make me think of the whale. And then another 8/0 through the next Mobyduo. No. Like that. And then another 4. This color right here, I feel like really makes the bracelet. 2 8s, 2 15s, and through the next round trio. This pumpkin color, so pretty. It's a pumpkin pie color. Alright, and then again I'm going to reverse it, so I ended with 15s, but now I'm going to start with 15s, and then my 2 8s, and then my 4, through the next Mobyduo. So I'm going to keep going and doing this, repeating this all the way down here, and I'll show you how to do this end, and then I'll show you how to go down this side. Okay, I'm down here at the end, and I have to pick up this bead, and then 1 11/0, because I'm actually mirroring this side right here. Hope you can see that. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this 11, 4, that 11, and then through the entire side right here. And then through the button. Actually, I'm going through those 2 15s that are inside the button. Okay, and then let's turn this around. Going down these 5 8s. And through the 15 and through that 4. Pull it tight. Lay my bracelet down. Which side am I on now? This side? Yeah. Again, I am turning it so I can work going towards the left from the right because I'm right-handed. Alright, so I'm just going to do the same thing that I did to this side. I'm at this corner again. I'm coming out, supposed to be coming out the 15, but it looks like I skipped it. Good thing I realized that. So yeah, you want to exit out of the 15/0 seed bead. Okay. Get that tail out of my way. There we go. I'm going to pick up 1 15, 1 4 through the Mobyduo. That's what your end should look like. Okay, and then 8 O's go in between the Mobyduo beads. And then I'm just going to fast forward because I'm going to do the same thing on this side that I just showed you guys how to do on the other side. Okay, I'm back and I'm all the way down here on this corner. I'm going to add my last 2 beads, a 4mm and a 15-0. So we'll have to pass through these like this. Okay, pull that very tight. And then I'm going to go through all of these 8 O's again in my button loop here. I'm going to work my way through. You can tie knots here, but you know, I think I'm going to tie knots on the other side of my bracelet because I have enough tail to do that. So I'm just going to pass through here again, which is good. I think I have 3 passes through here. I'm going through it a 4th time. I usually do 3 at the most, but since I'm using 8 OC beads, and since the holes are so doggone big, it's good to fill them as much as possible. I usually do 11 OC beads as my button loop, but I didn't get them in a box. I only got 8s and 15s. Alright, so I went through these here also, and here I am. I'm going to tie my first knot right here. I'm going to pass under the 4mm bead, making a loop, going through the loop twice, bringing this loop down right here, pulling the knot down slowly so that it slides down. Sometimes the knots don't want to slide down, by the way, it'll get stuck. You put the needle in it and you go like that, and you can fix the loop so it slides down properly. And then I don't think I'm going to tie any knots here because out of experience, whenever I tie knots in an area like this, especially when I'm doing like super duos in between seed beads, the knot's visible. So I'm going to pass through all of these 8 O's and the Mobyduo beads. Okay, and then I'm going to tie knots here. So I could tie knots again in front of the 4, in between these here. I won't tie knots in between the 15s because it will be seen, but I can tie a knot in front of this Rounduo bead, and then go through these 2, and then tie knots in front of the 8 O's, and I just go along the entire side, filling this up as much as I can with my thread. And then when I get down here, I take my thread off and I trim whatever I have left over, but like I said, I try to use up as much thread as possible, filling this bracelet up so it's strong because this is a very large bracelet. I'll get my ruler and show you. I think the finished length on it was 7 3/4 or 7, no, it's 7.5. It's 7.5, okay, I have it upside down. This is the correct side. It's 7.5. And then the width of it, it's actually just a little bit wider than my ruler. So pretty wide. What is it? 1.25 inches? It's kind of hard to see because the camera's in my face. It's 1.25 inches wide, so it's pretty wide, but man, is it gorgeous. Okay, so back over here. So this thread will be going down this side tying knots, right? I try to go as far as I could possibly go using up that tail, tying as many knots as I can, filling up the side, making it strong, making it durable. And then when I get done on that side, I take this thread here, put my needle on it. I'm going to pass down, back down through the center hole of the RoundTrio. Then I'm going to come up this side hole and I'm going to go through all of these seed beads in the loops, and then I will be on this side of the bracelet. So this one's on this side, this one here, I'm going through here, coming around, and I'm going to be working down this side. So this tail's going to be going this way, and this one's going to be going that way, tying knots, making the bracelet stronger. And if you want, you don't have to tie knots on the edge where the seed beads are. You can tie knots on the second row where the heavier beads are at. So right in through here through the Ginko and the 6mm Czech fire polish beads. Those are the ones that made me worry about this bracelet. Those beads are quite large. So this is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. This is a really fun project, and remember, I will have links to all of the beads you will need to make this bracelet down there in the description bar. I had a ton of fun designing this. It's so beautiful, and I'm really looking forward to the next Potomac Bead Box XL to see what else I get, because I've been playing with some really neat 2-hole beads that I've never played with before, and it's just really fun and exciting to use stuff like this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and make sure that you click the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos, and check me out on my social media sites. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Thanks for watching.